Alrighty, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deanna. Happy Vlogmas Day 2. Today on the docket is a story time. And a story time do I have for you? It is about the making of my Christmas card this year, so tune in. It's many hours later. My first video that I made, I did another photo booth moment and it's gone. It's gone forever. So here is here's the only take you will see, but take two for me. So, in order to tell you a little bit why I decided to do a Christmas card this year, we need to roll it on back to last year when I got my precious baby Mia Frank Davis. She's a cute little Shih Tzu poodle. You'll see her soon. I got her a few days before Thanksgiving last year, and I just didn't even think about like making a Christmas card to mail out. And once the Christmas season ended, I knew that it was going to be a mission of mine to have a Christmas card this year to send out to all of my friends and family. If you're one of my 5 friends watching this and you did not get a Christmas card, maybe it got lost in the mail, hit me up and I'll be sure to send you another one. All that to say, I knew this holiday season I was going to get a Christmas card made of me and my beautiful dog and our little family of 2. So I reached out to one of my good friends, Callie, and I was like, tell me when you put up your Christmas decorations. Can you pretty please use your camera to take pictures of me and my dog for my Christmas card? And she was like, sure, I'm down, which was great. So the night before we ended up taking photos, I went over to Callie's house. I watched her decorate her home for Christmas. I totally helped out. Okay, I didn't, but I was the vibe. I brought the vibes. Much like this channel, that is what I gave to Callie as she decorated for Christmas. I brought me and Mia, and that was enough. The next day, the morning before my shift, me and Mia are studded out in our Christmas sweaters, both sponsored by that lovely lady right there, my mother, who's walking behind this video. The Christmas card is sponsored both by my mom and Callie. Shout out to those two. Couldn't have done it without them, really. I know what you're thinking. This is probably the most boring story time you've ever heard on the page of YouTube, honestly. But it gets good, I promise. So we take our Christmas photos. Mia is a star. She's stunning. She's hitting them poses. She's not staying still, and I'll probably have footage somewhere of her actually being the craziest animal I've ever owned. We get the cutest Christmas photos that you can imagine. Some of my favorites are here and here. And I know what you're thinking. What could be so interesting and deserves a story time about making your Christmas cards? You took photos in your friend's home. What's the big whoop? The big whoop is I have beef with Staples. Big beef. So I take the time, make my cute little Christmas card. I'm in love. I get feedback, still in love. And I have the background as a cute forest green of the back of my Christmas card, okay? And I send it off to Staples. Get it done. Mind you, I really should have just sent them to the Walgreens that is, in fact, 4-minute walking distance from my home, but I didn't do that. I sent them to Staples. And you're probably like, Deanna, why would you send them to Staples when that is a 20-minute drive out of your way, when there is a Walgreens literally right next to you? And the answer to that question is, I don't really know, but I got my graduation cards made there, and they were literally like so cute. And I was like, okay, I've seen the work that Staples can do. Maybe they can do it again. The answer is no. Wrong. So I send them in to Staples. They get done faster than I thought they were. So go Staples for that. But I open the box. Imagine me opening the box and I look at the beautiful creation that I sent in, because they have you check to make sure it looks right before you pay for them. And I'm looking at it and it's black. The green background is black. The little cute little stamps of our faces, the outline border, black. And I was standing there and I was really trying. I was really trying to just like cope. And the people pleaser that I am, I really was just gonna be like, yeah, these are fine. Let me pay for them. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I was frantically trying to look on my phone to find like the image of what I sent in so that I could like maybe get a little bit of validation of like why they're wrong. And I finally find them and I'm like, "See, this is how they're supposed to look. This is how they came out." And he was like, "Yeah, let me just like ask the guy that's sitting back there." And he asks him, he's like, "Yeah, this is like a color matching problem." And he was like, "Don't worry, I'll call my manager. We'll get these fixed for you and they'll have them ready for you by tomorrow." The original guy that's helping me out at the counter, he like has this huge epiphany and he's like standing off to the side and he's like, "Wow, that's just like what colorblind people go through. It's like a color matching issue." And I'm standing there like, "Are, are you good?" But I didn't say that. I just looked as if I was being punked on a show and that people were gonna come out and be like, haha, just kidding. But that didn't happen. And so I left. I went to my car and I called them the next day. And I call and I'm like, "Hey Staples, it's your girl. Are my pictures ready?" And like the lady on the phone is like, "Yeah, I don't know. Let me go check." Then she comes back and she goes, "They're done." And I'm like, "Okay, thank you." End of that phone call. I go a day later because it is in fact a 20-minute drive out of my way to go and get them because I'm silly. And I show up and they're still not it. They're still not what I had sent in. And I am about to have a literal breakdown in the Staples. This sweet employee who has to be like early 20s, late teens is just looking at me having like a mental crash out. Like there's nothing going on behind these eyes because I'm literally about to lose my crap. And I tell the kind lady and I show her what I sent in and what those are and I'm like, this is not the same thing. And she was like, she didn't buy it. Anyways, I also didn't buy it. And I left very defeated, very annoyed that this was now like a 3-day saga of these Christmas cards. I end up just sending them to the Walgreens that is right next to my home. And you're probably thinking at this point, like, this is it. This is victorious. She's got the Christmas cards. I don't. The man behind the counter tells me that the printer is not working. That it's like not able to print like front and back. And he's like, "You can send them somewhere else." And I'm like looking at this man like about to like this was about to be my 13th reason why because it's been it's been a long few days of this all going on and I just wanted the Christmas cards done so I could mail them. And he's like, "Well, you could probably go and get them at like another Walgreens. Their printers are more than likely working." And I'm like, "Well, can you call and ask?" And I explained to him that this has been a tumultuous experience already, and that this is in fact about to be my 13th reason. He does not know what I mean by that, which is probably great for his sake, and mine. But he calls, and the guy on the other side is like, "Yeah, our printers are working. I can get that done for her." And so I send them to this other Walgreens, and it tells you it's going to be ready in an hour. I give it an hour and a half. Again, remember the guy that I was talking to said that the person he called so that they could get them done. And then I went into this other Walgreens that is about a 5-minute drive from my home. And I walk in, there's a lady at a cash register and she ends up being like, "Yeah, I like don't know how any of this stuff works over here, so like I can't help you, but my manager, she's coming right back in." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." The manager ends up coming back in and she's like, "Yeah, they're not done. And it's going to be a while before they're done." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." The cashier lady is like, "Do you need them today?" And I was like, "Do I need them today?" Yes, I do need them today. And the manager is like, "Yeah, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a few hours." And the cashier lady's like, "Yeah, they should be done before we close at 10." And it's currently like 5:30. I'm like, "Got it. Got it. 4 hours. I'll be back. I'll be back." I come back and around like 9:30, about 30 minutes till close, and I open the box before I buy them, and I look at them, and I look at them. They look exactly the same as the ones that were from Staples. They're like slightly better, but they're pretty much the exact same. So I spent about 8 hours of my life um getting the exact same outcome. Yeah, so I accepted defeat and I realized that there's always next year to do better, to maybe not have a green background. And that's that. Funny enough though, when I did get home to look at them, they didn't include the envelopes. My Christmas cards that are notoriously mailed did not include envelopes for me to mail them. So that was really fun. I then went to a separate Walgreens the next day, not the one that said they printer didn't work, not the one where I got my photos from, but a third Walgreens. And I asked them for envelopes. I'm like, "Oh, the other Walgreens forgot them. Is there any way that you can give me envelopes?" And they did. They were so kind. Honestly, all of the Walgreens employees were so nice, along with, I guess, the Staples employees as well. But I learned to just go with Walgreens to begin with, to maybe not do cardstock, and maybe also not to do a nice forest green background. But yeah, that that's the story time of me getting Christmas cards together this year. I hope you've enjoyed this little story time moment for Vlogmas Day 2. I will see you tomorrow for Day 3, and if someone hasn't told you this today, you're doing great.